and expect the boat to slam back down, but it wouldn't slam. It hasn't slammed. Now here's a big one. Let's see what she does. Today I have the pleasure of being aboard the Aquador 250HT. Aquador, being a Finnish brand, might be new to the States, but they've actually been around for nearly 30 years. And that boat building heritage certainly shines through with this model. Let's go see how this thing handles in some nasty water. Let's turn our wipers on, because we certainly need that. Close our window up, because it's pretty dicey out here. This is about to get exciting, people. We've already been out in this a little bit, and I'm very impressed. I'm about to share just how this thing performs with you. So, get her full throttle, getting up on plane. If you can tell, it's fairly rough out here. I'd come up on a wave and expect the boat to slam back down, but it wouldn't slam. It hasn't slammed. Now here's a big one. Let's see what she does. No slam, and I hope you guys can see all the spray and everything back there, because it is pretty intense. The boat just handles excellent, and it's pretty quiet in here. Granted, we are banging around pretty seriously. Everything's quiet, secure. You know, I'm comfortable. I have great visibility, even without the bolster. Everything is ergonomically laid out. My steering wheel, perfect. Throttle, everything is in a good position for me.
Our test boat has a length overall of 25 foot 8 inches, a beam of 8 foot 7 inches, and drafts 1 foot 4 inches with the engines trimmed up. Our test weight was estimated at 6,600 pounds with 15% of the 65-gallon fuel capacity on board and 2 passengers. Our test boat was powered by a single Suzuki 250 engine, but it can also be optioned with a Mercury. We found the top speed to be at 5,800 RPM, where the boat went 40.6 miles an hour. Best cruise was at 4,500 RPM, where we recorded 27.1 miles an hour, getting 2.3 miles per gallon. On our whole shot tests, the boat reached 10 miles an hour in 6.5 seconds, 20 miles an hour in 14.3, and 0 to 30 was 23 seconds.
The first feature I want to mention is this wet locker down in the swim platform. Right now this will be a great place for lines, but you can option this to be a dedicated stern anchor locker. Now that would be with an electric windlass in here, plenty of place for your rode, and the anchor would actually stow underneath the swim platform. So it's like it's hidden away, but excellent convenience. Now actually in Scandinavian waters, a lot of times they will order their boats with only a stern anchor, because that's just how they boat over there. It's a little different. I can't decide which feature I like better, that stern anchor locker or the dedicated storage for the fenders. You always need a place for fenders, and Aquador has thought of a really elegant way to do that. And they also have a small storage locker as well. There's also a 4-step swim ladder that is concealed underneath the swim platform, and a grab handle to assist when coming aboard. And once you do come aboard, right on the port side, there's a hot and cold pressure freshwater shower to get that salt water off of you. There's a 10-inch cleat, both port and starboard on the transom. 2 more steps if you want to get up and around on the starboard side of the cabin top, and a solid cockpit door for added safety. Maybe you want to keep the kids in the cockpit as you're underway. And then you have your primary electrical panel over here as well, all your switches and fuses in there. And then just forward of that is a battery management panel and a 110 outlet. When Aquador was designing this boat, I think they really were focusing on interior volume. And every boat is a compromise. So one of the things they had to compromise with a little bit is this passageway along the side, although I do believe it's still adequate. With about 11 inches up forward, tapering back to about 10 inches. Now also, down on the deck, a 10-inch pop-up cleat, which is nice that it's pop-up, so that's less things to stub your toe on. And then we have our water and fuel fill along the side as well. On the forward deck is a large, comfortable sun pad. It's about 6 feet wide and 57 inches bow to stern. There's also a grab rail for holding on while underway. The bow railing is more than adequate. You just saw me sitting on it. It is very sturdy, and it's a good height. Up at the bow, it's about 27 inches. It tapers down to 24 inches and then a little bit less as you go farther back. Plenty enough to keep you safely on board. The anchor roller is underneath the bow here, so that gives us a less cluttered deck and less things to trip over and stub your toe on. you have a split lid for the anchor locker, and down below, plenty of room for your rode to fall. And there's also a quick windlass, which can be controlled from the helm and also remotely. A few other things to mention: large 10-inch cleats, and they have 360 lighting on this boat, and the bow light is right here at my feet. And then something else I noticed, which I appreciate, is a large rub rail. This is bigger than a rub rail that I typically see on boats in the States, and I think that's something to be appreciated. And this is a large hardtop, which is one of my favorite parts about the boat. There are two 55-watt solar panels on the roof, which are optional. There's a mast where you can have a searchlight, maybe a radar, and then of course, standing up here, you notice the large skylights, which I'm looking forward to sharing with you guys when we get down below. It really lets in a lot of light and a lot of air when you're underway. And on the back of the hardtop, there's an LED floodlight. And this goes along with the one I mentioned at the bow. Both port and starboard on the side of the cabin, there are two more, and those will complete our 360 dock lighting. That would be great for approaching a dock at night that you may be unfamiliar with. You might blind some neighbors, but safety is the primary factor. Now, there's a lot to talk about in this cockpit, but the first thing that I notice is the top extends all the way to the back of the cockpit, giving us plenty of shade. It's a hot day out here. Now, me personally, I like that in a boat, because if I'm gonna go out on a boat like this, I'm gonna be out there for several days, and getting out of the sun is important. And when you can get out of the sun and not be under a bimini, you're gonna look a little bit more elegant and a little more classy, and this boat certainly does that. We can actually quickly enclose this entire cockpit with isinglass. Right behind here, this can actually slide out, go all the way around the cockpit in a track, and close this off and make this an entire conditioned space. And that really extends your living space. You can heat and cool this entire space. We have 4 large skylights to let in some natural lighting, and they've also done some nice things with the fit and finish with this padding up here and the LED lighting. The cockpit has L-shaped seating with comfort enough for, I think, 4 adults, with the port side being 48 inches long and here along the back 41 inches. And the backrest is at a comfortable height of 17.5 inches. That's going to provide, of course, more comfort and a little bit more security. Something else I think Aquador did a good job on is the access to the storage underneath these seats. Now, traditionally, you're fumbling around trying to either move cushions or lift them up out of the way. Well, with this method, you don't even have to remove the cushions. Just simply lift up, and you have gas or strut assist to give you access into these storage bins that are underneath. And these, of course, can be removed to gain access to the mechanical spaces. Under me is access to your lithium batteries. When some table space is needed, there's a removable dining table that can be set up here on a pedestal. And it has a dedicated storage space forward underneath the V-berth. The Galley has a well-appointed Corian worktop, pop-up mood lighting, and then controls for our Wallace diesel stove, light switches, and our diesel heater. Under this worktop is the Wallace stove, and then a stainless steel sink. The cabinetry throughout the boat is constructed with hardwood walnut plywood. On the left side, you have shelf storage, and then on the right side, you have 3 drawers which are complete with soft close slides. Just forward of the Galley is a large pull-out fridge. And then opposite of that is an optional drawer fridge. The operator is given a twin helm seat, which is 34 inches wide. Maybe not quite big enough for 2 adults, but I could see myself and my son sitting up here being underway. You know, the kids always love to sit where the driver is, right? And then as I sit here, I have good visibility all around, and compass center line, and up on the dash, this actually flips up and we have storage underneath. Little small cubbies for small items, as well as a wireless induction charger and 4 USB ports. I have twin 12-inch Simrad MFDs, 2 of the small cup holders, which they still work. And then I have all of my tactile switches for my most important and most used electronic items. The steering wheel is on a tilt base for that added comfort. And you have your Suzuki gauges, your quick controls for both your windlass and your bow thruster, as well as your zip weight controls. Now, there's also a small control for your fusion head unit and your electronic Suzuki engine controls. There is a manually operated window to open up and allow for some more ventilation inside. Within arm's reach is your midship cleat. This is nice maybe if you're single-handed. Maybe that might be the last line that you take off before you head out. Above, these skylights are actually sunroofs. and they're manually opening, and this really opens things up, and maybe you can even stand up as you're operating. You can still see out. Maybe you're dodging crab pots like we were earlier. Good spot. Think you've had enough wind and sun where you can close up your sunroof and then block out the sun with this retractable window shade. That makes things a lot more comfortable. The co-pilot is giving a comfortable bolstered seat, as well as a couple of storage cubbies, a grab handle, and 2 cup holders. Although the cup holders, they do seem a little small. I think maybe if I put a koozie on there, it may not quite fit, so I might want to see those be a little bit larger. There's also some storage under my feet below. Down in the cabin, the headroom is about 5 foot 6 inches. Now, the V-berth up forward is a fairly large size. It's 77 inches in depth, and then at its widest point, about 69 inches. Now, alongside, you have hull side windows, a mirror up at the front with 2 reading lights, and you have accent lighting, as well as LED lights overhead, a hatch for some ventilation, and then over on the port side, you have controls for your heater, your air conditioning unit, USBs, as well as your light switches. And there's even a little cubby alongside, maybe for your accessories in the evening. And there's also padding, both port and starboard. Underneath the V-berth, there's additional storage, lifted up with the gas-assisted struts, and we find our cockpit table, filler cushion, and some life jackets. And there's some additional space down there for some provisions. Maybe you're on a long trip or something. Great place to put some things. On the port side is the wet head. It's complete with a plumb toilet, vessel sink, and shower wand. Storage underneath. You have a decent sized window and a small ventilation port. The mid-berth on the starboard side is fairly deep at 80 inches in length. It's 36 inches wide, and the height overhead will be 19 inches here at the beginning, and a little farther back it does drop down to 13 inches. But that's still plenty of room for someone to get in there and lay, especially the kids. And then just forward of that, you have a hanging locker with some additional shelving. Well, that was certainly an exciting day, learning about this new model from Aquador. I'm Captain Trip with Boat Test, and remember, life is better on a boat.